Hello, friends. I'm Avdendra. Friends, the very recent development that is the Chinese president ordered the biggest revamp of military since 2015. Since 2015, the after 2 years, when the Mr. Xi Jinping came to office in 2013, he launched a military revamp program in which he actually uh, a created a force called as a strategic support force, which was created to enhance capabilities in space, cyber, political, electronic warfare, and these are very weighted terms, my friends. These are the weighted terms, not an ordinary electronic warfare and political and cyber political. These terms actually we have heard from our CDS, you know, Chief of Defense Staff. Many times around the world, we are listening it. The electronic warfare. Next warfare is electronic and space and cyber attacks kind of warfare. Electronic warfare will be there in near future. So that's why the nations are preparing for to uh, you know cope up these problems. Yes, India is too preparing it. Uh, Mr. Xi Jinping also this strategic support force, which was created before in 2050, is now abolished, and right now he replaced with the same strategic support force. This information support force is replaced. Strategic support force. Okay, so a different kind of system is being created. Since Mr. Donald Trump came to office, he changed the Russia-US relationship. Entirely he changed. He judged his gaze uh, US-China relationship, and he declared China as an enemy nation. So, as an enemy, how to treat enemy? How are the definition of enemy? He declared it, and he followed that path. Previous governments, which was before Mr. Obama administration, was lenient towards the Chinese. That's why China, you know, uh, grows up uh, so aggressively that now it is challenging the US dominance, has become the challenge for US. Since Mr. Xi, in turn, creating a new branch called as Information Support Force, the aerospace and cyber units provide provision previously under the Strategic Support Force will now be organizationally parallel to the newly created Information Support Force, the Defense Ministry said in a statement. The aerospace unit will improve China's capability to use space and set up the management of a space crisis. That's the very important thing. Space. Suppose that we are, uh, you know, reading in science news that solar flare kind of system, if uh, erupting from the sun and coming to the Earth, all the electronic devices systems will uh, damaged because of the solar flare electronic system. That's why if you will create such kind of electromagnetic radiation from the space, then you can interrupt into the countries, your enemy countries' electronic information system, or you can collapse the information system from the space. That is also a very important thing which can create an information blockage during wartime or anything else. So the space management, very nice word they're creating is the aerospace unit will improve China's capability to use space and set up the management of a space crisis. So that's a very important thing. I also, uh, 1 and 2 months ago, went into our website called as DRDO, Defense Research Development Organization, in which I uh, read the report. It is now on the website. You can read it if you want. That DRDO published the information warfare and uh, electronic warfare, how to deal with this. And definitely, government of India is aware to this kind of problems. So how to tackle it? So a right platform DRDO has been given the task to cope up the problem and you know create such kind of mechanism to solve it. So that's a nice thing. But the enemy, China, who is preparing for this, is definitely a challenge for us because the restructuring came as the world's second largest economy, that means China, faces off with the US in a fight for the global influence. Right now, these two countries are fishing for global influence to each other with the cyber warfare emerging as a key battlefield. Okay, so the US, UK, and New Zealand accused China last month of sponsoring malicious activities in targeting democratic institutions. So China, also Chinese, from the Chinese territory, I have in my memory remembered that uh, AIMS Delhi institution was hijacked by the cyber attacker that was rooted, connected to the China. So the Chinese influence is an influence, a cyber attacker is attacking the Indian system too, disrupting the governance model and information, uh, capturing the privacy issues they are raising. So the China's unethical growing is challenging all over the world, particularly the US, India, and UK and New Zealand, the Western nations, which is democratic, you know. So that's why people are raising the question that China's is interfering into their election process, where the misinformation kind of propaganda is spreading. False AI is also a challenge for global institutions, democratic institutions, and particularly the democracies. So, reiterating the Communist Party leadership over the army, Mr. Xi Jinping, Chinese president, said that the new force will provide key support, key support in coordinating the construction and utilization of the cyber information system. So, must understand my viewers that the China is preparing for next level of its military ambition and restructuring its military. The political commissioner from the new defunct strategic support force, will take that some role with the information support system. These are little bit changing, but something they aided is that space also into the their modified version of the defense. He pledged that resolutely, listen to Mr. C's instructions. He's also commander of the information support system. Okay, so must have to these kind of words you will see the resolutely, you know, the force implementation of instructions. Uh, these words actually represents the stronghold of, you know, Chinese president cyber tensions. The changes are aimed at between adopting Chinese military to the information conditions of modern warfare. Many people are raising the issue that PLA Navy's research academy is also there, is also growing its research presence. So restructuring will lead to better deployment of satellite systems. Okay, satellite systems, cyberspace, and other conducting electronic warfare. So these are the terms: space, satellite-based system, and cyberspace, and they will conduct electronic warfare. Uh, the previous commander is the Strategic Defense Force who disappeared. Yeah, yeah. There is a phenomenon, disappearance of the key personalities in China's governance model. Their defense minister, previous defense minister, was disappeared. Foreign minister disappeared. And Mr. Xi Jinping was always raising the issue of corruption into the Chinese governance model. 6 months ago, I have a report on this that Mr. Xi said that we need a corruption-free government. And he instructed his public servants that they must have to obey the ethics of governance. So that's why that means if the Chinese president repeatedly, instructing its people that you have to be corruption free. That means he knows that there is a large scale corruption. That's why he is advocating it. You have to come out of this. Okay. So there is a corruption in the system as well. So military shake-up. The latest revamp follows a sweeping purge of literacy of military establishment last year. US intelligence expert viewed that move is a response of the discovery of widespread corruption in the military. Okay, so the US intelligence saying that this is a discovery of widespread corruption in the military. That's why he's revamping it, including the rocket force, which manages the country's expanding nuclear arsenal. So these are the terms actually uh, Mr. C raised, and many other worldwide the military experts is raising the question of adversary actually looks differently. Okay, so he points out actually the weak points. Your adversary will always raise your weak points, you know, uh, to discourage you. All over the world, it is not only in reference to China and US, but it is your colleagues as well. So, okay, if your colleague, your friend is not liking you, he will always, uh, point out your weaknesses into the public. So that's the US and China relationship. But definitely there is a corruption in the governance system. I know it. Uh, 3 and 4 times I have read Mr. Xi Jinping advocating that you must have to come out of the corruption. Corruption is, you know, corruption is definitely there would be because of the corruption is what kind of corruption is this? The economy is growing. Challenges of self expenditure is also increasing. Your expectation is increasing. Cost of living is getting higher, but your pay and salary scale is lower. You know, that's why the public servant go for corruption. I do understand it like this because Property rates, if you see that it is growing, many folds, and your salary is just increasing 10 or 5%, DAT kind of something, DNS allowance 4% increase, this and that. This is not going to translate into actually the picture of economic, development. That's why the people does corruption. It is not a structural full-fledged corruption, to paralyze entire governance system. But they are making some money for crores of money to their shelf. It is not justifiable. Corruption is not justifiable. I'm not justifying it, but yes, the salaries of the peoples must have to raise up to that level so that they can live with dignity, as they are, uh, social standing is different. You are the foreign minister, or you are the defense minister, but you are living in a you know so problematic kind of way. That's the challenge. They raise up to the mark. They want to live in a dignified manner. That's why they are doing corruption, making illegal money. But there doesn't mean that they want to make the entire system to be collapsed. So we need to make reforms into the pay scale and salary so that they can be satisfied. That's why they will not do the corruption. I think I view it like that. So if you agree with it, that's okay. But my view is like that. Okay, that doesn't mean that I can't view things differently. A different time, I viewed things differently. But this time, I do observe that this is the root cause of the corruption in the system, wherever, not only in China, in India is also going has the corruption and have it, and corruption must have to be rooted out. But before that, we need to make the reforms. So thank you very much, my friends, for watching. These are the developments actually. The China is worried. China have capability, no doubt, and capacity too. They can, if the China comes with its might, a full-fledged, you know, there could be a disruption, okay, into the global order. So China is aggressive in nature. It is no doubt since Chinese came to power. Mr. This Communist Party came to power. It is, understands the language of might. So it is in nature, in Chinese characteristic. So world must have to understand. Definitely, I view it that the global world war three would be definitely something linked to the China, because China is aggressive in nature. So this nature is actually dangerous. This mindset is dangerous. So thank you very much, my friends, for listening me. Thank you very much.